Hey guys, I'm really excited to share this recipe with you. It's a great weeknight go-to. It's so yummy, really easy to make. You know I love that. Salmon teriyaki bites. So one thing that we're gonna add to this, you guys know I love a prep ahead, and we have our beautiful teriyaki sauce that I showed you guys already. So we're gonna use some of this. So good. So first what we're gonna do is we're gonna marinate the salmon in a little bit of spices. We're gonna pop it in the fridge, minimally 30 minutes. You can go up to 2 to 3 hours if you wanna prep this a few hours in advance of dinner. So check this out. Again, super easy. We have a teaspoon of onion powder. We have a teaspoon of garlic powder. We have half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, a little pinch of cayenne, a little bit of heat. I don't use too much cayenne because my kids are gonna be eating this. I have half a teaspoon of salt. Now we're gonna add in a little bit of olive oil so that we can get a nice coat on our salmon. So why don't we do that right now? Let's add in a couple tablespoons of olive oil. And then what we're gonna do is we are going to zest a lime. I'm just gonna use this grater that I have. This is one of those extra steps. You don't need the lime zest, but it adds such a beautiful brightness. When you wanna add, just get a little bit of brightness like lemon zest, lime zest, these little extra steps really do make a difference. It really elevates a simple weeknight meal. Just doing these little tiny extra things that take hardly any time. So the other thing that I like to do is I like to chop up my lime zest really small. Just give this a quick chop. Again, I'm mainly doing this for my kids because I'm trying to sneak these flavors in. So I have to make sure they're cut up really small so they don't really notice it. They love the way it tastes, but the consistency is still a thing for my kids. I don't know if you guys are dealing with that too. Okay, so let's put the lime zest in. Now we're gonna add in the juice of the lime. So we're just gonna juice the lime straight into the bowl. Oh my gosh, I love fresh lime juice. It's so good. So we're gonna pop in 2 teaspoons of maple syrup. Again, like maple syrup, we've talked about this before, but honey maple syrup really adds just like a really beautiful, sweet smoothness to the flavors. We're gonna mix this up. Then we're gonna put our salmon in, make sure it's fully coated, and then pop it in the fridge. So when you get your salmon, when I'm making something like my salmon bites, I like to ask my fishmonger to take the skin off and debone it for me. So this is just ready to go. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside for a second. So now we're gonna cut the salmon into little 1.5 inch cubes. What I like to do is ask my fishmonger to take the skin off for me, debone it for me, so it's just ready to chop. I also like doing my salmon on either a plastic board or a board like this that I could just toss into the dishwasher, and so it sterilizes it and gets the fish smell off, and I can easily wash this with a lemon, which also cuts the fish smell as well. Okay. Oh my gosh. I love this recipe so much. And so do my kids, which is great. So these are about 1 inch. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, this protein. Knowing that I'm gonna get this protein into my kids makes me so happy. So you just wanna cut it into a little bite, just like that. And these are also great too for kids because they can just pick them up, pop them in their mouth. So when I get to this kind of middle section here, I'll also cut off this little layer. You do not have to, but again, like I know that my children might think it's a little bit of a too fishy flavor with that on. So those are just little extra steps that I take. You do not have to. Oh my gosh, this looks amazing. Okay, great. So next, I'm gonna just wash my hands. So now I'm putting on a glove because whenever I'm mushing marinade into fish or chicken or anything I'm making, I always put on my trusty glove. We're gonna pop our fish into our marinade, make sure it's fully covered. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this gorgeous protein. Oh my goodness, how do you not want to eat this? This is so beautiful. Okay, this is fully coated. This is going in the fridge. I want to get dinner made quickly, so I'm going to marinate this probably for only about 45 minutes. Well, you can keep it in as long as 2 to 3 hours into the fridge. So I just took my marinated salmon bites out of the fridge, lined a baking sheet with parchment paper, spaced them out evenly, and I'm gonna pop them into a 400-degree oven up on the upper third of my oven, 10 to 12 minutes, and then we're gonna do a quick little broil on them to get them a little browner, and then it's time to eat. Okay, so I just took these out of the oven, 10 minutes. Now I'm gonna put this on broil, and then I'm gonna pop them in the broiler for 2 to 3 minutes so they get nice and golden brown. So I'm gonna turn my broiler off, and we are gonna pull out our salmon bites. Whoa. You also have to be careful that your parchment paper doesn't light on fire, so you really gotta keep a good eye on it. So here are our salmon bites. Now what I'm gonna do is drizzle it with this teriyaki sauce that I already have prepped in my fridge. And then I'm gonna top it with some cilantro and some sesame seeds. Look at this perfectly coated spoon. This teriyaki sauce is so yummy. So I'm just gonna drizzle it along the top. So this is perfect. So I have this sauce ready to go in my fridge. It's gonna elevate the meal. And now some sesame seeds, which will stick perfectly to our beautiful teriyaki sauce. And our fresh cilantro. Isn't that pretty? So you could put this on rice, you could top it on noodles, you could top it on a salad. These are so versatile, they're delicious, and my kids eat them, which is always a plus. That's like what I look at, I'm like, okay, are my kids gonna eat it? Yes. And now I'm gonna eat one. That is so good. Oh my gosh. Let me know what you guys think.